Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network.
Yeah, it is.
How come I can't? Can you hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you. If I turn that up for you to hear you, we'll end up having an echo in the mic.
Okay, well, we don't want no echoes. All right. Well, having said that, folks, welcome to our show, HB Sports Talk, our segment number 2, labeled The Fellas. I got my boy. Once again, I'm joined by the Reverend Brian Katz McGlee, and I had to bring my main man back, Craig the Assassin Harris. And folks, once again, what we try to do is just, just kind of update folks here out here in the community of, how rich our area is in sports here, and guys that have went on to the NFL, whatever the case may be, college scholarships. And, kind of working with the young guys in the community. And having said that, we have a segment today kind of still with the 1981 champs here. It's kind of hard not to talk about that. And because I still have some players and guys that I needed to talk to. But these are my main guys right here. A former Lafayette Tigers / Uniontown Red Raiders. I go to war and battle with these guys anywhere.
East End.
That's right.
Don't leave out East End.
And so what I wanted to do is bring on today Brian. I got in touch with him. Thank you for coming. And,
yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
What we wanted to talk about with you, too, we're going to get on to the basketball part of it a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to talk with you to share a little bit about your road to the track and field high jump. State finals. Mm-hmm. And where was that at, by the way?
Shippensburg, PA.
Shippensburg, PA. So we were like talking. I thought you won the 1 year, and then and I know Craig said that you came in second, but you told us something differently. So would you care to share with us a little bit how it went down there?
Well, it really started as young people. We used to go down to Terrence's house. We would have makeshift pits and stuff, and we were jumping over a pile of clothes and some bamboo poles, and literally that went on to the high school. But we got invitations to the Junior Olympics and things like that. Wow. And I set a couple records in the Junior Olympics in the high jump, and then it was on to Lafayette, where me and your guy was Robert L. Fee Award winners.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Plaque is still up on the wall, but and I started jumping up there, man. And I, even up at Lafayette, I jumped 6'4", and I got down to the high school.
Wow.
6'4", I have shared a record with Chuck Muncie of all people.
Okay. Wow.
And then
I didn't know that.
But I had an injury playing undergrad basketball against General Braddock. Pop! Guy hit me in the ribs, and I was done for the season. Then.
Did you break your ribs?
Bruised them bad.
Bruised them bad?
Okay,
wow.
Because that was going on with track season at the same time. But my junior year, Terrence came along. It was his sophomore year.
Now, would that be Terrence Jackson?
Terrence Jackson.
Or as they call him, Terry Jackson?
Yeah. So Terrence came, and he won the state championship his sophomore year. He jumped 6'10", and from that point on, I was in second place behind him. I did 6'8", and in his junior year, he set the state record at 7'½ in the high jump.
Wow.
And again, I was third behind him, and really, that's. Then I think his senior year, he did, he got second place in state. So he was on his way to winning 3 championships in a row. But we just supported each other, man, and we was always a support system, just like just like brothers, like us, man.
Just like us growing up.
Coming up
in
in
the
the-
East End. Yes, sir.
I could go to his mom's house, your house, and we'd get disciplined the same way.
Oh, say, we don't want to go there.
So yeah, that was
That's what's missing today.
it was a ride, man, and I counted a blessing.
Now, being that we weren't there, weren't there, and wish we were there to kind of see you guys. But was there a time when you jump maybe like 6'8", and then it's his turn, and you're like, man, I hope he don't get this. Like maybe I can go ahead and. So like, or did he do like a 6'10", and you had to top that? How did that go about?
I had always wanted to beat him, man. We supported each other. We was teammates, but I said one of these days I got to beat this guy. In all of our, I only beat him in one track meet. I only beat him in one track meet. But once everybody cleared, the guys that cleared 6'8", he would come in, man, because we usually came in at 6 feet 4 inches. When the other guy,
and everyone else
yeah,
was,
the other
was
guys,
falling
the other
off,
guys,
and y'all just started.
yeah,
Wow, that's
other guys was
high.
dumb, and we was taking off our sweatsuits, so it was just me and him, man. And a lot of times it was just me and him at the end of the track meets, and I tried to get him, man, but that boy, he's a dog, man. He's like, man. And if you remember those track, they didn't have the facilities back then that they have now.
No.
They got the artificial track. We was running on dirt,
on cinders,
running
and
on
all
dirt,
that,
yeah, cinder and cement, man. So that made it real special, man. But yeah, I tried to get him, man, but I'm out. Bars up to 6'10", and here he comes, and then it goes up to 6'11", and he's still in there. But we really encouraged each other the whole way, man.
But wasn't that something to watch him at 5'8", maybe 5'9", and jumping 7 feet?
Yeah, it was special, man. He got this one picture of him going over the bar, and the guys was like, Ralph Bliss is just looking at him like this. I'm like, yeah, it was special, man. He used to win the dunk contest.
Yeah, he was something else, man.
Yeah.
I can remember. Now, Terrence, you need to be here. We're talking about you. I wish you was here because you definitely would have been on here. Everybody, some guy was, who was showing me the other day, who was it? I think it was the principal. It's the principal at the middle school at Laurel Highlands, because I kind of do some part-time work there. And first of all, I want to give a shout out to him, Mr. Ross Coney. Hey, what you're doing with these young kids is incredible. I had an opportunity the other day. I'm at work, so I walked downstairs. He says, hey, there he is right there. He has the little kids down there dribbling the balls. So he told me he had gotten some kind of funding and he made a weight room and everything down in the basement for these kids.
Okay.
And so they're down there dribbling. He said, hey, guys, stop what you're doing. He said, would you go over and introduce yourself to that guy? I'm like, okay. So they come over. There's 3 of them. And then one of the kids, his name was, they introduced themselves, Brian. The middle kid's name, I don't remember his first name. The other kid, he said, Cleo. And I said, okay. He said, well, tell me your last names. And then the other kid said, Grady. And I said, man, Brian Grady.
Brian
I said, you got another kid in here? I mean, and all of Brian's kids were athletic, you know. And so then the other kid, last name was Hunter. And then I said, what's your last name? He said, McGlee. I said, man, McGlee always falls from the tree every day. He's one of McGlee.
I don't know how he slipped up there.
But
That's Boo's son.
That's Boo's son. Yeah. And so I started telling Coach Rosconi about his Boo's father, Kevin, which they didn't know nothing
They didn't
about.
know?
Oh man, I told him everything how he was in 1976 Sugar Bowl against Tony Dorsett. He couldn't believe. He said, "Man, you're giving me chills." He said, "Would you share that story with these guys?" So I told little Cleo that his eyes was like, yes, he couldn't. He was just like, like really amazed. So. Shout out to him, man, because they are our future, these little guys. And, it's an awesome thing. But getting back to Terrence, like you said, winning the dunk contest, just a real quick story. I remember we were warming up Laurel Highlands. You know how Uniontown, Laurel Highlands rival. It's an amped environment. This kid was jumping so high in warm-ups, man. He was missing the layups. Like he was like touching the top of the square elbow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, wow, But yeah. So Terrence, if you're in town, you better get in touch with us. We got to have you on the show. But anyway, we're talking about the basketball segment of it. Of course, my guys in the trenches here. We had there's some things. That's why I got you 2 guys here, because one thing I didn't know is about Earl. I thought I had Earl on here the first show because he won the MVP of the game. Okay, but I tell people, in my opinion, of the whole state tournament, this guy right here, Craig Harris, in my opinion, and we got something. I didn't want to spoil it, but we got something in the future for you. We got a little trophy for him for this, from me,
Yeah,
especially.
yeah.
Because he was a senior leader. Okay, and
He was a Swiss Army knife.
oh man, listen, this guy right here. So Craig,
Come on, you guys need to cut it out, man.
kind of remind us how like Earl didn't play, from how many games did we play? I can't remember none of that stuff.
I don't know. The playoffs was just about the whole playoffs. Earl was hurt, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
till when did he come back?
No, I know the WPIL he didn't play because I got a chance to start and I had 19 points and you couldn't tell.
Was
me
that
nothing.
Center? Was that against Center down at the Civic Arena?
That wasn't
against Center. That was
Aliquippa, wasn't it?
yeah,
Aliquippa, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Nestor would only insert him, certain times of the game. Like if we was going through periods where we weren't scoring or needed something else, then he would put Earl in the game for a couple minutes. We'd get it going again. He'd take him out. So yeah, he
Working him back in.
yeah slowly working him back in.
Yeah. And that would explain because Squeak did have a lot of rust on him in the first part of the in the championship game in Hershey.
Yeah, they wasn't sure he was going to be able to come back too strong, but
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, and that was quite the experience right there, man. Because I know when we played Altoona, did you guys remember when we were up here how? And this is what I tell youngsters today: when you get to this tenure of your career of your season, it becomes mental more than physical because the officials, everybody try to take you out the game, crowds, everybody. You remember the time whenever we played Altoona when that guy spit in Eric Fee's face?
Swagger.
Yeah.
John Swagger's
Yeah.
the coach's
Yeah,
son.
the coach's
Remember
son.
that?
Remember when we went to basketball camp at Geneva?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we were with him.
Oh.
Was we up at IUP that time?
I think we were close to Altoona up that way. Like we were almost in their neck of the woods.
Yeah, when we played them.
Whenever he spit in Fee's face,
We were up in Altoona.
we was up in Altoona, and they were. You can only imagine what they was calling us up there.
Yeah.
And I remember Eric going timeout, and I just remember him having to use 4 fingers to wipe that thing out of his eye and do like this.
Yeah, man.
Now right there, we could have just started fighting, running up in the stands on that. But Nestor, being the coach that he was, that's why he was coach of the year. Gathered us all together and timeout. And after that, we came out and did like a 15-0 run or something. But yeah, man. So those are those times were something else. So at this time, we're just going to take a little break here, partner, and hopefully. Oh, by the way, my co-host here today, and she is Chairs Empty. He's supposed to join us here briefly. Hopefully he does, but if not, we'll be back. We'll talk to you in a second.
Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network. Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network. Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network.
All right, we're back, folks. So we were just sitting on a break talking, and man, so my sophomore year, you guys' junior year, we were in battle. We went to the PIAAs. Again, we almost got to that thing again that year.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. You couldn't tell me nothing because I would play JVs, but I would play only a half, and I'd come in and dress varsity. My head was, you couldn't tell me nothing when I was in school.
But that year, that was a very disappointing year, if you ask me, because I feel as though we should have been back-to-back state champions.
Yeah.
I mean,
We was up.
How many games were, like, did we go one or two before we went there to the semis or
we lost in the semis.
semis?
The semis in the WPAL, then we lost in the semis in the PIAA.
Yeah.
Both tournaments, we won out one game too short.
Sorry. We regrouped and came back and made up for that thing the next year.
Remember after we lost them games, man, the next season, did somebody come up with a date with state?
Yeah.
And in our mind, we was like, hey, man, if we don't win this state championship, the season is a bust.
Yes, sir.
We wasn't having nothing else. That's why we was grinding, man. That's why we was serious about that thing, because we got so close, man. You know.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that with me is what I wanted to talk about was, so remember we were Lafayette Tigers. Remember on game day, remember Mr. Beerbar bought us those sweaters?
Yep.
Oh,
Polo sweaters.
When we had those sweaters
Rugby.
on.
Was it rugby?
The rugby, blue and gold.
But we could never beat
Ben
Franklin Quakers.
Ben Franklin.
And we were favored to win. On paper, we looked like we could run them out the gym. And these guys got us both times. We were 15-2. And I can remember coming home. I don't want to talk to nobody. I mean, my mom and I don't want to eat dinner. I just went upstairs in my room. I mean, I was hurt. I just want to get you guys' opinion. So, because the roster we had now, mind you, these guys beat us. But as we go down to the high school, it's the Lafayette Tigers that mainly, there's more Lafayette Tigers that are in the trenches for battle and winning this thing than there was Quakers. Because let's face it, we had a whole roster that could a starting five. The second five could have started for another team.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Go ahead.
I mean, you had Dwight Henderson, okay? You had
I don't know what it was other than when we played them, we always played at Lafayette or Ben Franklin, the little shoebox.
Yeah.
There's only this wide, this long.
And Lafayette had the dead spots in it, but we knew about
well, that was to our advantage.
we knew about the dead spots.
But then with BF though, they've always had different presses or whatever. And when you're 7th, 8th grade, someone's pressing you. You don't know how to really control. If you ask me, that's how they beat us. They had us in that small shoebox and they pressed us, and we couldn't get out.
And that would make a lot of sense too, because
And their crowd was
it's like a
going
hot
crazy.
potato to ball when you got that pressure on you. Now and if you weren't a ball handler, that ball's like a hot potato to you.
Yeah.
So
And I knew once those two teams got together, once we got down to high school and got together, we could be special.
yeah.
Because they're the only teams that beat us, and they were undefeated.
Yeah.
They went
So I was like,
undefeated.
hey, we get together, man, we can be special, and that's what happened.
So, Brian, you had made a post on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and I love it. And I'm going to ask, one word to describe. You put him on as the GOAT.
Who's
Mr.
that?
Rich Beerbar.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, Rich, he just doesn't get his due, man. Because he cared about you as a person. He cared
First.
about you as a student. Then he cared about you as an athlete.
As an athlete.
And he made sure, I'm telling you, I never got a 96 and was able to feel like I could do better. Besides doing it for him. You get a 96 and he act like you done showed him a D or something.
Oh, man, he's, hardly no rap for you.
Because he used to call me McAdoo, man. And I thought he's one of the better coaches in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Football, basketball.
Football, definitely.
And he's a good guy. He truly cared about us.
He knew what he had, living and he lived in the hood.
He lived right there at Persian Court.
Right there. He used to get a van, take us down the Berg, Shaler, all that. We'd come back, win all the tournaments. I'd
Yeah.
come back with an MVP tournament. I mean, trophy. You know what I mean? And he took us to a few. And that's what's. Do they still do that around here now? Go to tournaments. They have
They
summer
got all
games?
this.
I don't see.
They
none
got
of
all
that.
this fake AAU
They got that
stuff
AAU,
going on.
yeah.
Man.
Whoa.
But if you remember, though, we were playing. Our high school team was playing AAU teams down in Pittsburgh at the Shepherd and
Ozanam, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some of the
Mike
boys'
Wilson
names.
was playing?
Mike Wilson was on the team.
Yeah,
We go
yeah.
down there, just our high school team, and
And
we're
win.
playing the city all stars, and
And beat
and
them.
we're getting in.
Yeah. Because I don't really listen, and it's funny because when we even the year that we won state, we were 32-2. We went to
32-2.
Vegas. We
Yep.
lost to the host team.
Host team.
By what? 1 point, 2 points.
Then we lost to Bell Vernon.
Then we lost to Bell. Now, the
3 points.
the Bell Vernon game. You ever have that time in your life when you're sick as a dog? You just always remember, man, I'll never want to be that sick again. Well, I was home sick with the flu, listening to on the radio with my Aunt Georgia with a cover on me, and we're listening to the game, and they beat us. I couldn't believe it.
That's
I
that
was
night you turned into a starter. Because I busted my hand.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
you put your
glass.
hand through a window.
Yeah.
See, and see, you're telling me stuff I have
You don't
no
remember that?
recollection. No.
Because I missed the whole season because of this.
Yeah, he missed quite a bit.
Now,
of
who was no? He was bringing some different people off the bench at that time. Then.
Who?
Nesser. Because if I was starting, then who was he was bringing in? Like who was
Frizzell, Chris was getting some time at the
Chris
time.
getting some time?
Yeah.
Wow. You know. Wow. Because you're that. Your brother was playing that year, Chrissy, wasn't he? Wasn't Chrissy playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chrissy was on the team. Wow.
No, Chris had graduated.
No, because this is our senior years when you cut
That
yourself.
was your
Yeah,
senior
Chris
year.
had graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was out to the playoffs. They didn't think I was coming back. In the Pittsburgh.
So you was out what 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, I came back for the Norwin game down at Cal U.
Okay.
And they had that article, the Fabulous Five is down to 4, and they wrote about me busting. I keep clippings, man. I got.
Now, did you have to get stitches and all that?
Yeah, right here.
You got battle scars from the road to state. See, that's a good scar though, right there.
But you think about
It wasn't at the time though.
you think about them 32 wins, but I think about them losses more.
Yeah,
Because they was host teams,
Yes.
and we got cooked by the referees.
Yeah, both times.
Yes.
And then I'm in school. I go up to Pitt, and Marlon McIntyre's at the Dirty O. He said, "All I know is I was 1-1 against y'all."
1-1 what? Because they beat us in football, I guess.
No, they beat us in basketball. And
That's when they had Simmerl too, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
He was as y'all call him. He was a dog. That cat right there was. I had to tell them to check his eligibility because
Well, they did. They recruited him from
DC,
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 somewhere.
yeah.
They brought him
and
up
that
from.
cat would dunk on you as soon as he look at you.
I took a charge from him, man.
Oh shoot!
Because you know how we practice charges
Oh,
before
yeah.
like 15, 20 minutes. And I stood there like this. His foot is on my chest. Referee called it off, though. But that
Now,
was...
I just remember playing Bell Vernon. I guess Greg threw Earl an alley-oop, and he dunked it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ken Sermon telling his guy, "Why we not throw the alley-oop?" Man,
That was Squeak's play
get your
there.
stupid butt over there. Yeah.
That was at Uniontown, right?
Yeah.
That alley-oop. I remember that one.
Squeak had that one down pat. I was kind of shocked when Squeak started doing that. I said, "Where'd this come from?" Because practices was some of the best times with us.
Oh, it was rough. It was rough.
But well, guys, we're going to have one more break here real quick, and we're going to come back with a few minutes because I got a little debate I want to settle before we close up. So we'll be back.
Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network. Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, tune in, because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network. Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in, because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network. Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in, because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network. Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in, because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network. Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up.
Crazy. Welcome back, folks. So we're gonna close this segment out here. We were leaving this one for last. So, we have people on this segment here. This is gonna be a good one. So we're gonna leave on this note. So we see on Facebook, papers, whatever the case may be, who was the NBA GOAT. So, and we have a little debate here. So, and Brian, since I'm gonna go with you, LeBron or Jordan. Oh, whoa, let me do this: LeBron, Jordan, and you can't leave Kobe Bryant out. So, let's just go with that. But being that they were the two latest modern players, who
I'm thinking Will Chamberlain, man. No.
Hey, good choice.
If I was starting a team, my first pick would be LeBron James because of his all-around game. And I know Jordan was all defense, this, that, and the other, but I don't know if Jordan played at this level in his 40s. Did he? This guy still plays at a high level, man.
Jordan played with the Wizards
with his 40s.
These boys be taking HGH and stuff nowadays to keep them a lot younger. You know what I mean? He can get human growth hormone, whereas Jordan didn't have the ability. At most back then, you had testosterone or some D-ball, like some steroids.
That's right.
Is it proven though?
And then start a team. I'm taking Jordan.
You taking Jordan?
Just for one fact, Jordan refused to lose.
Can't deny his greatness. Can't deny his greatness.
To lose.
He got what, 6 championships?
Six appearances, six MVPs,
finals MVPs,
and never played 7-game series.
Maybe I will go with Jordan.
I mean, and the thing is this: the reason why I would go with Jordan is a couple reasons. And number one is this: like LeBron. Okay, you were in Cleveland, things didn't go well. What does he do? He goes and stacks the deck. He goes down
to South Beach.
Goes to South Beach. Okay, then he plays there, gets beat in a 6-game series against Dallas Mavericks with 6-footers guarding him, okay, shutting him down in the fourth quarter. Come on, man. And then I remember D. Wade saying...
That's not my picture of the GOAT.
No, not at all. And D. Wade saying that when he retired, this is the kind of selfishness that LeBron had. And I didn't notice about it, but when he retired, LeBron first of all, when he left Miami to go back to Cleveland, they found out in a text message. He never called nobody or nothing. He didn't even show up at Dwayne Wade's retirement.
Oh.
And D Wade said, and that's just how he is. And I thought they were kind of best friends, so that kind of shocked me a little bit. But moving forward, though, MJ.
But this debate will go on forever. That's why it's still out there.
Yeah,
nothing's unanimous.
But now
everything
they're
is
starting to throw
arguable.
new names in, and Kevin Durant.
Well, no,
they're trying to toss his name in there.
Second to me is going to be Kobe Bryant. He's right there with MJ. He's the one that you could tell he mirrored his game after Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean? So, yes, but we had to get that in, folks, on closing up. But guys, I appreciate it, man. It's been great. It's always a pleasure to be around my fellow compadres.
Childhood friends.
All
the way from East End.
In a parting shot, what would you say to one of the youngsters out there that's trying to chase what we've done and maybe trying to come first in the high jump? What would you tell them real quick?
High jump, I mean, just make goals, work on them, work extra hard, work harder than the next man, and just chase your dreams, man. And somebody's always trying to work harder than you. Be the hardest worker out there.
And this guy right here, my man, the assassin, not calling him, but he was like this. He was always on top of things with his smart, known position. You come in, he's like, hey, come on. You knew. So with you, man, just being that way, Craig, the way you are, and you were that way in football as well. I have a lot of guys have a lot of respect for you telling me Spurlock. I remember Spurlock. I remember Darrell Haynes, Harlan Haynes. Everybody talks about Craig Harris and how you mentored them when they were younger and they had the athletic ability to come up and play. And they had the old goat tell them, where to go.
Were you and Harlan linebackers at the same time?
Yeah.
Boy, y'all was rough.
Yeah, Harlan was linebacker opposite of me.
What would you say to the upcoming football players there, Mr. Harris, and the guys wanting to be a quiet assassin? What would you tell them real quick?
Well, you just got to remember the sports that I played were team sports. So, you got to be part of the team. You can't be an individual.
That's real. That's real.
You just go out there, put your best foot forward and do everything to the best of your ability, and hopefully things will work out.
Yes, sir. There you go. Nice. Well, folks, hey, we thank you for tuning in. And, guys, once again, appreciate you guys. And we will see you guys for segment 3. And having said that, thank you, folks, and we will see you next time.